Well, hey guys, and welcome to Janet being Janet. Okay, so it's raining outside, so I'm inside, and I had just a little bit more time to do a little bit something different with my video. But I was watching a live stream that Miss Katie Joy was doing, and she was complaining about not being able to get on a panel of somebody's. So I figured it would be fun for me to just go ahead and screenshot all them little pleas to get on T-Spiracy's panel with Nate the lawyer and Uncivil Law. But T-Spiracy said no, 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 no. So I just screenshotted all those, and I was like, let's do a social media rundown, and then let's just go ahead and go into her live stream. So yeah, y'all are getting to see my wet babies. It's pouring now, so yeah, I'm not outside with them. But alrighty, guys, y'all bear with me. This is gonna get long. So here we go. Now, I may not have these in direct order because I was just doing some snapping, but we're going to still try to get through this, and I'm going to read these to you, and then we're going to get into the live stream. Yeah, we are. We certainly are. Alrighty, y'all. Get ready. So let's just start this with one more lawsuit gone. Number of lawsuits I've lost, 0. Frivolous lawsuits should be illegal. And then, she actually included this with Stephen McCray's lawsuit against me has been dismissed with prejudice after failing to file the lawsuit in court. Under the Minnesota court rules of civil procedure, he is barred from refiling this case against me. Thank you for everyone who has supported me and stood up for me. Let me be abundantly clear. The lawsuit with Steve McCray is over. Done! He does not need any more money for any legal battles against me. The case is dismissed. If you have donated to his GoFundMe under the premise that he needs funds for his defense against me, seek a refund. Then let's move on to Steve McCray's lawsuit is dismissed with prejudice under the Minnesota Rules of Civil Procedure. He didn't file his lawsuit by 8/16 of 22 deadline, and no agreement was made for extended filing. We haven't spoken to his attorney since last fall. Check the link. And so, yeah, she provided a link, and she also provided another little screenshot here, as you can see. I'm not going to read all that to you, not whatsoever at all, but y'all are more than welcome to pause if you want to pause and read what she posted. All right, let's keep going. Since people are lacking critical thinking skills, I never said, quote, a judge dismissed the case. I said this, and then she links it. Steve McCray's lawsuit against me has been dismissed with prejudice after failing to file the lawsuit in court. Under the Minnesota court rule of civil procedure, he is barred from refiling this case against me. Thank you for everyone who has supported me and stood up for me. We're going to keep just bebopping along here. Let me clear up other rumors. I am not seeking attorney fees, nor will I file anything in court related to Steve McCray. If other people don't like him, that's on them. I'm moving on. I have no interest in ever being associated to someone I haven't spoken to in years. So I just wanted to add a couple of comments in here because, I was like, okay, let's do this. But somebody says, who is Steve McCray? Without a crystal ball replies, someone that has been doing stuff like this to it should be me, but it says B for years. Let's just follow it up with, it's strange you have so much conflict with others. Without a crystal ball could only reply, no, it's not. So Katie Joy shared Steve McCray's post, and it says, oh, I'm not. I plan to invest my entire life savings into this and have a few options for loans if needed. I have an excellent credit rating. I am all in here, which Katie Joy replies, never filed in court, never served discovery. He was all in. So Katie Joy shared Steve's GoFundMe, and she says, Steve will have to find a new cause to e-beg for now. I'm not the one. I'm over him. He's insignificant to me. In my opinion, his greatest joy is the negative attention he receives when people talk about him, which is why I didn't until his lawsuit was dismissed. All right, now y'all, just stay with me. I've got some videos coming up at the end, but let's just go ahead and keep reading her post. I want to be extremely clear. Steve McCray's attorneys never requested discovery. The last time we heard from them was when they sent us a response to our countersuit, and maybe once more. Once I settled with Tina, he disappeared. He never intended to move forward and fooled you all. Egging on creators to sue other creators is irresponsible and unethical. It's a stupid game that so many play for the sake of drama. The only people who win are the lawyers. So do not ask me if I plan to sue other creators over what they say about me. The answer is no. Now, this post is more about 7M, but because she went ahead and put uncivil law in there, I was like, well, we're going to go ahead and add it to this one. Yep, we are. So, regarding the 7M lawsuit, the uncivil law says has merit. 7M failed to serve us with requests for discovery. The deadline was 2 weeks ago. A judge denied the request for an extension absent a motion. They have not filed any motion. Without a delay approved, the case is DEAD. Uncivil law told me he doesn't need to know the facts behind the situation. I encouraged him to rewatch what was said and what documents were used when I reported the information. He refused. When I realized he was doing the bare minimum to report, I stopped talking to him. While a lawyer needs to know the law to litigate the case, uncivil law was unwilling to even investigate if the information I reported was factual, came from witnesses or public records, and didn't care to know anything about the church. Pretty lazy, if you ask me. Are y'all hanging in there with me? I certainly hope you are, and I hope you're having a good day. But let's keep on going now. If you aren't a lawyer that understands the law of civil procedure in a state, you shouldn't tell your audience you know about it, period. All of you have been fooled by quote-unquote YouTube lawyers who don't know the laws of the court where I live. Thank goodness my real lawyer does. Stop egging on creators to sue one another. Please, all of you, stop. Lawsuits are not, quote unquote, I'm mad at you, so I'm gonna make you pay. Weapon. Let people speak. If you don't want to be spoken about, don't speak. I don't respond to have the crap people say about me. So now we have the threat of Hip Pocket Service is a cost-effective method to manage disputes and keep costs down. This frees the court of lawsuits that could settle on their own. You can fully litigate every part, and lawyers draft all the orders and timelines. His lawyer didn't do anything. That's the truth. Cases can be fully completed without ever filing a thing in court, but orders must be followed if they are agreed upon between the parties. We could have done depositions, subpoenas, etc., but once Tina and LMN settled and agreed to leave me alone for good, Steve dipped out. We always were on the belief that Steve's lawsuit was retaliation. I can't say that word, retaliation. Alrighty, guys, that's me. For filing restraining orders against LMN and Tina. His lawsuit was even an attempted bargaining chip for dismissal if I agreed to their terms via their shared lawyer. I refused to agree to anything with Steve. Since we didn't initiate the case, we had no responsibility to push discovery, settlement, mediation, or depositions. His lawyer would be the one to initiate or show their seriousness in the case. The facts are there was no request for a settlement, mediation, or discovery. Okay, guys, we're down to our last thread. So here we go. If all of these creators are going to talk about me, how about talk to me and I'll answer the questions? Then the speculation stops. It's beyond ridiculous how much misinformation is out right now about this situation, and I'll gladly clear it up. I watched T-Spiracy's video, but neither lawyer understood that civil procedures in Minnesota. I asked for a link. They said no. Sorry for the misinformation in her video, but Hip Pocket Service allows for a case to be fully litigated between lawyers so official discovery can be done. While Nate and Uncivil are lawyers, civil law varies greatly between states, and Minnesota Hip Pocket Service is unique to Minnesota. I would have gladly explained to clear things up, but I was denied. Like I said, guys, okay, so she was denied to get online, and she was begging to get on that panel. She was begging and bragging. Yes, she was. So I'm going to show y'all that in the second part. Oh, yeah, the second part of my little video that I'm gonna edit together here for you. So let's get on to seeing Katie Joy and listening to her. So there you go. This is where the trigger warning comes into effect, kind of, sort of. The rest of it was me, or beforehand, it was me, all right? Okay, it was me. Yeah, her words, me talking. But now then, we are to the point of we're going to watch some of Miss Katie Joy and see what she has to say. And y'all remember, when the second part of the video actually comes up, it's going to be little bitty things that are from T-Spiracy's live stream, because I started laughing every time without a crystal ball decided she was going to post in there, send her a super chat. So, I was just laughing along, so I was like, let's just do this a little differently. Alrighty, guys, there I go, rambling. Y'all know how I like to do that, but all right, here we go.
It's a pattern with Steve. He destroys and disrupts communities. He has destroyed the skeptic community. He disrupted the atheist community. He came into the reality TV and commentary world and tried to disrupt it with me. And you know what? He's a parasite, and he will continue to do this, and he will find a new community to do this too. And if you believe that he is just going to like learn, no. He will not learn until people like you guys stop listening to him, stop believing it, stop hearing it. Just don't even buy into it. I will never let people forget that he is a liar, a scam artist, a con artist, a misogynist, a narcissist. Steve is every one of the things that he has accused me of being. He probably hates himself so much that all the things he said about me are how he feels about himself, and he's projected on every other person in the world, because there's no other reason I can think that someone would do this stuff outside of them just being damn evil. I went onto my Twitter and I noticed that people were talking about my lawsuits, and there was like, I went onto this channel and they were literally talking about me. It was so weird. And they were like, there was these two lawyers on there, and they were telling people about my lawsuit, but they were actually telling people the wrong information about my lawsuit. And it was so frustrating, because I was like in the chat and I was like trying to say like, I'll come on and answer your questions, and then the girl wouldn't let me come on because she hates me. But the lawyers don't live in the state that I live in, and in the states that they work in doesn't have hip hop, the kind of service that this case had. And so they were like telling the audience incorrect information based on what their states do and not knowing the protocol for our state. And so there's all this like misinformation out there about the lawsuit, and it's so stupid. So this guy named Steve basically sued me, but he didn't sue me. His lawsuit was frivolous. We knew that it was frivolous because he filed it after I had taken out a couple of restraining orders against two women that were harassing me. And those two women were his friends. And so he ended up suing me like right after that happened, and they all had the same attorney. And when he sued me, he never filed it in court. So in the state of Minnesota, there's a process where you can do what's called hip pocket service. And it means that once you're served, you are involved in a lawsuit. And you can actually do the full litigation of the case outside of court. It's a specific law in the state of Minnesota to keep civil cases that could easily settle out of the court system. So when you do hip pocket service, I was of the belief that in order to move forward, we would have to file in court, but that's not how it works. In fact, we were able to do a response. We were able to file counterclaims against him. And you can do all aspects of the civil litigation. You can even do orders, like your two lawyers get together and they can do scheduling orders, which means like we'll have discovery done by this date, we'll have this done by this date. You can do subpoenas, you can do depositions. I mean, you can literally do every single aspect of the legal case outside of court, with the sole goal of like, while you're doing this process, you guys can try to find a way to come to a solution. So it's only if you can't come to a solution through that process that you can file it in court. And it saves people money, because then they don't have to go through the filing fees, and they don't have to go through the court time, and then they don't have to go through the hearings, and everything can be done between lawyers. You can also have, you can hire mediators to come in and like do mediation. You can also, and mediators can be actual judges that can help with mediation, so that they can help like determine like how your settlement would go and the merits of everything. So it is literally the same thing as a regular case. It's just outside of court, and the lawyers on that panel didn't understand that. So they were trying to say that like, because he didn't file it in court, it was never a real lawsuit. The reason why it has a 1-year deadline is that if you can't, so you have 1 year, once you serve someone like hip pocket, you have 1 year within that time to file it in court if you can't come to an agreement within that time outside of court. So he, during that time, never responded to us. So we sent counterclaims to him, and then I ended up settling with the two girls, and the agreement was that they were just going to leave me alone. And then he just basically stopped responding. Like, his attorney never sent us a request for discovery. They never sent depositions, subpoenas, nothing. And so because we didn't file the lawsuit against him, we were under no obligation to actually push for him to do anything, because it was his job to, he brought the suit against me. So he was like, well, if you're the one that's bringing the suit against me, it's your job to initiate things. And as a lawyer, didn't do anything. So basically he never did anything outside of court, and he never brought it to court. So it ended up getting dismissed, but they didn't explain that to the audience correctly at all. It's sad. It's frustrating. So that case is gone now. So that case is gone. And then these same people were not satisfied with me that I wanted to be done with Steve. They want me to still go after him because they hate him. They don't care about me. They don't care about my life. They don't care about me wanting to get rid of and moving past that chapter of my life. They just want me to keep going after him because they hate him. So it's not beneficial to me. It's to serve their needs. And I'm not down for that.